Hey everybody, today I want to show you an easy pasta dish that I grew up making with my dad. It's very simple, very flexible as far as ingredients go, and it's very tasty. So without further ado, let's go into cook mode. Much better. Now let's get cooking good looking.
Alright, so if you don't have all of the ingredients I have, really there's no need to panic. Sorry I did that to you. But like I said, it's a flexible dish. So, moving on to the stars of our show. You're going to want to have some bacon, some ham, and some onions, all chopped up into roughly 1-inch squares. And of course, being Italian cooking, you're going to want to have a healthy amount of garlic, probably about 2 cloves. Now, I like to use fusilli pasta because it's nice and curly and it soaks up all of this delicious sauce. Moving into herbs and spices, we have whole thyme, crushed red pepper, basil, and oregano. And our other extra ingredients, we have spaghetti sauce, very important, stuffed green olives, and capers. And usually I use black olives, but like I said, this dish is flexible and we didn't have any. So, moving on. Go ahead and add your bacon to a hot pan and make sure you cook off all of that fat. You don't want any chewy bacon in your sauce, unless of course that's your thing. Look at that. Beautiful, isn't it? Anyways, you're going to want to take all of your bacon out of the pan once it's mostly cooked and go ahead and add your onions and begin to saute them. Make sure you add your garlic once your onions are about halfway cooked. And you really want your onions to start getting transparent, and once they get to that transparent point, you add your ham, and the goal here is to get it crispy. It's already cooked, so really you're just going for texture and flavor. Give it a nice flip if you're extra like me, and add your bacon. Bring it back to the party with all of its lovely grease. Now, you begin to add your other ingredients like your green olives and your capers. If you couldn't tell, I really like green olives. Follow through with your capers. Once again, add them to taste. And then next, we're going to add a little bit of salt and some black pepper. Don't overdo it with the salt. There's a lot of salty things going into this. Give it another flip because you're extra. I like to add about a tablespoon of oregano, but once again, add to taste. Give it a nice little grind between your hands. And a pinch of thyme. Thyme can very easily overpower all the other herbs, so I only really like to add a pinch. And maybe a little bit more basil than thyme, but once again, it's very easy to overpower. Oregano is a lot more subtle than the others. Now, follow through with a dusting of crushed red pepper flakes, and stir that all up. Let it get to know each other and start to get nice and caramelized. Oh, isn't that just beautiful? It's okay to acknowledge the feelings you have for this dish. You'll notice I've had this pot steaming in the background. I like to get it nice and warm so I can bring it to boil when I want. And you begin to add your spaghetti sauce here. It's okay if it's a little soupy. You're going to be adding your pasta and you can let it simmer and really cook down and get delicious. Now for this special surprise guest, I didn't want to spoil the surprise. You guessed it, vodka. What's a good sauce without some vodka? Okay, enough of that. So you're going to want to let that simmer partially covered and get your pasta boiling. And maybe also schedule an appointment with your therapist. Anyways, you'll notice that I add some starchy pasta water to my sauce. It gives it some nice thickness. And watch as before your eyes, the pasta turns to cooked pasta in 3, 2... Oh, well, never mind. Got that timing wrong. Anyways, I've got the ratio down pretty good because I've done this a bunch, but you want to add your pasta gradually so you don't overbear your sauce. Mix it up nice and good, making sure to get some beautiful glamour shots as you go. Oh, isn't that just beautiful? Make sure you praise yourself a bunch. It makes it that much better. And now my favorite part, the beautiful plating. Add it to a nice bowl and maybe follow with some Parmesan. Sprinkle it on top. And of course, we're going to get more glamour shots because it's glamorous, let's face it. And now for my favorite shot of this whole thing. The one where I get to eat the food. in 3, 2... Oh, well, it's pretty hot. Let's blow it off. All right, maybe a little more. Okay, it's very hot, so we're going to blow it off and just go for it. And, oh, that's hot, but so delicious. You've done it again, Bobby.